Round one,
Good
fight.
evening. Round one. Fight.
Round one,
I
fight.
feel like every time that comes up, we need to be like in the Mortal Kombat uh fight video, like the side video,
There you
or
go.
when SmackDown was at its top and they
Yep.
had the best like
Yep.
the moving Titantrons for the match versus match. Like
Yep.
Jeff Hardy would come up and be like,
Round one, fight.
speaking. Well, we're gonna get to that right away. But good evening, ladies and gentlemen, the boys and girls, and everybody in between. Welcome to the Sports Report Fight Night. And yes, you are seeing our faces on a special night. I can honestly say we weren't sure if we were gonna have a show this week, but it seems like every freaking day there's been another newsworthy thing that I feel the need to freaking talk about. And we're gonna get all into that today. But first off, I think we can't go any further but to talk about Jeffrey Nero Hardy.
I agree.
My God, man, this is hard for me. We kind of talked about this yesterday. This is really hard for me because I love Jeff Hardy. Jeff is probably one of the main reasons I am a wrestling fan. Like he was always mind blowing to me, and someone brought it up in one of the things I'm in about it. Remember 2008, 2009, when Jeff Hardy was literally the hottest motherfucking thing in wrestling? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to give actually, let me do this real quick because this is a special show. We're talking about special issues, and some of these are some fucked up shit. So I'm going to break my own rule for one night and one night only. But anyway, if you haven't heard, I don't know, you are not a wrestling fan, so I don't know why you're on this show. But Jeff Hardy was arrested again this weekend for driving without a license and
Mm-hmm.
DUI. This is I've lost count. I'm not even sure how many at this point. And but I will honestly say this one hurt the most
Oh, most
because
definitely.
I was really looking forward to. I'm pretty sure for the sheer fact that the Young Bucks won the titles for the second time this week, I am almost positive that the Hardys were going to win that match.
Mm-hmm.
Almost positive. And it upsets me to no end that Jeff picked that night this weekend to have this incident when they've been touting this for weeks as their final run. And like,
Weeks on in.
it hurts me so much as a fan of his. And then you see people saying he just needs to hang it up. He needs to go in the back. And like, yeah, he could. Like, as much as this hurts me, Jeff Hardy has a Hall of Fame worthy career two times over. He's been WWE champion, TNA champion, TNA tag team champion, WWE champion. I think him and his brother have held tag team gold in every promotion they've been in together, and other than now AEW. Um, Tony Khan did release a statement in which he said that he was gonna there would have to be him going to rehab and like proof of sobriety before he comes back into the AEW locker room.
Yep.
Like everything, people are shitting on it. I swear to God, Tony Khan couldn't take a shit without people shitting on that shit. I swear, people just love to hate on the man, and I just don't understand it. But
KW, how you doing, bro?
um, he, I just, I don't
Yes.
know. What's your thoughts? Like, I'm at a loss for words here.
Um, it's disappointing, but again, the man when you dealing with addiction, you have demons, and those demons can come out at any time. And you always have to be vigilant. You always have to be aware. And when you lose that awareness of your addiction, you tend to fall right back into it. And I think that's what happened here. And you know, we criticize WWE for what they did in terms of that release, but
Well, there
there
is no proof. This is my thing on that. This is my one state. There is no proof that he was actually drunk. There
no
is
proof.
pretty
No.
solid proof.
Oh,
There is
no.
pretty
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no proof that he was actually drunk at the WWE in that incident.
Oh yeah.
And there was pretty solid proof that he did catch a concussion the night before. Um,
But if you but
but
sometimes they might have seen some signs,
yeah,
you know, which is why
the
they did
thing
what they
about an
did.
addict and KW, I honestly don't know. I feel like it's more than that at this point. I feel like in his career, he's
More like
been
4 or
pulled over,
5.
arrested 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, 4 or
Like
5.
that was the thing. The video that's going around, I'm not sure if that's the real video. I feel like I've seen it before, and that's from a few years ago.
That's why I took it down.
Um, no, but I've seen it in other places that are also touting it as the recent arrest, and
Mm,
I don't think that's right. But
mm.
again, I don't know. But it the other thing about an addict is they learn ways to hide it. When you're
Yes, I was
addicted
about to
to
bring that up.
something,
Yes. Yes.
you learn like I'm for things that you have to hide, you learn ways to hide it.
Yep.
I smoke weed. Now, it's different, but I know when I go into certain places, spray on some cologne, put in some eye drops, like maybe brush my teeth, things like that. You learn how
Maybe.
to hide, huh?
You said maybe.
Well, I mean, I don't always brush my teeth just because I smoked a bowl. Um, it depends on who I'm going to be around.
It's like
But
you can't. That's a good point, KW. Because Alex, it does. Matter of fact, I do want to highlight that because that's a good point.
no,
Um,
I agree. But I think that was the right thing
yeah, because you
on
don't want
Tony
to.
Khan's part. Like that,
Mm-hmm.
he also like you also got to remember what I feel like a lot of people tend to forget is AEW is still a baby. They're a baby company. They're a baby company.
Yeah.
This is their first incident like this. So Tony had to come out of the gates and set a precedent for if this happens with the other wrestlers, which in the wrestling business is not a um it's not a necessarily a if it's a win
I think
because
another thing too. I think another thing too. Tony Khan doesn't want to be an enabler. I think that's
yeah
another reason
no
too,
well
and
and
I don't blame him for that.
it's also that goes to the fact of like Tony has done a lot, and this is my thing when people shit on Tony. People tend to see the things that he's done for the business behind the scenes. He's the first major company ever to offer his employees insurance.
Mm,
Like for you know how much WWE superstars are on the road, like 300 plus days a year.
mm-hmm.
AEW they fly into where they're at on Tuesday and then they fly out on Thursday to go home to their families and to do it again. Now, do some go right to the next? Yes. Unfortunately, in this business, doing live shows weekly, some people are just going to have to live that life. But
Yes.
you also know, but for the sheer fact that everyone in that company has insurance, the sheer fact of highlighting people like Nyla Rose and Sunny Kiss and highlighting, I mean, we talked about it recently for the fact that right now, 2 out of 4 of their champions are black.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like they're doing things that a lot of people fail to realize. But back on this is not me debating that Tony Khan is not evil, but this is saying Jeff needs help. Jeff needs serious
Yes.
help.
Yes.
And I, as much as it pains me to say this, I'm not sure if it's not really time for Jeff to retire and just say, I'm done. Um, either take a backstage job or just retire to the Hardy compound and call it a day and tie up his boots and be a family man and just.
I don't think one has necessarily has anything to do with the other. I just think if you can
I'm
get
not
him,
necessarily saying it has anything to do with the other, but I'm worried that he's gonna go out drunk to the. Think about if he had not been wrestling Sting
mm,
in whenever that was in his TNA run. Think
mm,
about if he'd been wrestling someone green who you
mm,
couldn't realize what
what
was
was going
going
on?
on
Mhm,
and do stuff to get the match over with, and he hurt someone.
right,
Or think about if he does a swanton bomb and he's drunk
yeah,
and lands wrong and breaks his neck on someone.
yeah, that's true.
Like,
My but my thing is this, in terms of him working, I agree,
he's never shown signs other than the one time that we've seen with Sting,
right.
long time ago. Recently, he's never shown signs of working under the influence.
I
Is that
agree
what you're
with
going to be
you.
saying?
I agree with you in terms of working. That's why I do agree, but I still think retirement isn't necessarily the answer. I still think he needs help because he could be at home. He can be with his family 1 minute and then he gets the urge
Hmm.
and he's on the road again. And when you're in a moving vehicle like that, not only can you hurt yourself, you can hurt others. So from a working standpoint, I do agree. But overall, whether he's working or not, he still needs help because you don't want this man driving on the road under the influence of anything at all. So I still think he needs help regardless of if he's working or not.
I agree. I
Better calm
I
that.
want to see the closure of the Hardys retiring and going out as we always say one of, but in my eyes, that's not right. They are the greatest tag team, and I know a lot of
Ooh,
people
that's
would
a
are
slippery slope.
of my generation of like the Attitude Era,
Mm,
where the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression met. That's
mm,
what I'm talking about. You know
right,
what
right, right,
where
right.
my sweet spot is. Like
Mm,
people always have this argument between the three: Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, Hardy Boys, and
mm-hmm,
I agree. Like for that era, and truly for tag team wrestling as a whole, like I realize like for teams like if you didn't have teams like the Road Warriors and uh
Rock and Roll Express,
Rock and Roll Express and
Midnight
Midnight
Express,
Express,
mm-hmm,
the Hearts.
mm,
If you
Heart
didn't
Foundation.
have
Mm-hmm,
those teams, you wouldn't have had teams like Edge and Christian and Jeff and the Dudleys and all of that. But in my eyes, like they took what those guys started and turned it on its head. We've talked about this many a
mm-hmm,
times. Will the
mm-hmm.
TLC matches will go down in wrestling history for years to come,
Oh yeah.
and they're already
Oh
20,
yeah.
25 years old.
Yep.
Like, um, they will be talked about as one of the greatest things that people ever saw in wrestling because it was. They and spots that are still done today that still make you go, oh, Jeff and Edge were doing 30 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I want to see the end of it. I want him to get healthy. I want, and honest, I wanted to switch to this. You know who I feel really bad for?
Who?
Poor Matt.
Yeah.
Poor Matt, man. Like he fought this bad booking with the Matt family or the Hardy family office, and like then Jeff got released, and it looks like oh yeah he's coming, and then he did come, and just like 3 months into their run, Jeff just fucks it up, and like I
Yeah.
just if I
Like I
were
say,
Matt, I'd be livid, like I'd
his
be so
demons
mad.
got
I realize
him.
he's his brother, but
Yeah.
like
His
I'd be
demons
so
got him,
mad.
man. His demons got him, man. The only thing you could really do at this point is love and support him. At this point, that's all you can really do, and I know he'll do that. But yeah, I'm there with you because he was about to come out of that bad purgatory booking, and
Yeah.
um, and
Well,
it's
and
like.
Matt put him into that. Matt put
Matt
himself
did it
into
to
that booking.
himself.
Well, and for valid reason. The broken character doesn't work without a live crowd.
Right.
It does not. It
Right.
needs that live crowd for the delete, delete, delete. It needs,
Delete.
and I mean, Matt as
Delete.
broken Matt plays to the crowd so much, it couldn't work with no crowd. So I understood why he pulled away from that when he came in. And I'm hoping maybe now he's just going to jump right back into that. Maybe this is going to turn him back into broken Matt, like his brother betrayed him, blah, blah, whatever. I don't care. I hope Matt ends up coming out on top on this. Um, but we've talked about this for like 15, 20 minutes, even though I think we could talk about this for another half
Oh, we
hour,
can talk about for
truly.
another half hour, dude.
We're going to move on to the next topic. And honestly, the next topic kind of slide into each other. So I'm going to go with the not what I'm being told is not a rumor first. Vincent Kennedy McMahon has slush fund that has paid $3 million to a uh, former WWE employee to keep reporting some sexual assault.
Oh, and there's two rumors going around about who it is.
I've heard one. Also, I've heard that the part of the slush fund is also going for to pay someone to keep quiet about John Laurinaitis.
Yep, yep, yep. But I
Uh,
heard, but the
which
first rumor,
that would not surprise me in the least
none the
motherfucking bit.
least, none the least. I I heard the first person was Rover Mendez, and then the
That's
second
what I
person,
heard.
was Kelly Kelly.
Kelly, I could see that too.
So that's what I heard. Rosa, yeah, I might believe Rosa.
You got to remember, both when these girls were both in WWE, it was a very different place for
That's
women's wrestlers.
that's true. That's
Um,
true.
I just saw the bit the other day where Kelly Kelly, like one of her first bits in WWE, these are the biggest balls I've ever held.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, it was a different time. Rosa, I believe. I don't know about Kelly, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be surprised. And truly, honestly, Will, we've heard the stories. We've heard the comments about
Hmm.
um, Vince paying off people for years about sexual assault. And
Hmm.
supposedly Pritchard has like been has been paid off by been paid off for by the big mans, and there's it would not surprise me at all. But I tell you what, also is not going to surprise me. There's way more than two motherfucking women.
Oh yeah,
There's
hell yeah.
way
That yeah,
more than
yeah,
two
yeah,
mother.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when you compound that with the other rumor I heard today that Vince and Linda are no longer together, it's
What?
kind of going
What? I did not
again.
hear that.
Yeah,
What?
it's a rumor going around that Vince and Linda are no longer together. So if that is true, then it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that would make sense. If she knew this was about to come out and she's like,
Hmm.
nope, nope, nope.
Did you see the meme I posted in her on the chat?
So before we get into the next bit, not only that, but is this why Stephanie left? Did Stephanie leave so she could not be questioned?
The only thing that I would say about that is it's a possibility. But I also think they were unhappy with her job performance. So possibility, but I think it was more job performance based than this.
So, Will, I'm telling you, man, I should have put fucking money on this because it's going to happen.
Vince is shady,
WWE is
man.
about to be sold.
Vince is
Like, I'm
shady, man.
telling I'm,
Hey, Vince is shady.
huh?
Vince is shady. He's shady, man.
He's so shady. And it's not just that, man, but I'm telling you, like, they're about to be sold.
Hmm.
Now, if this is the case, and I kind of feel it in my bones. I don't know if Vince McMahon makes it as chairman of the WWE through the month of June. I have a feeling he's either going to step down or they're going to ask him to remove himself. She's not in the government anymore. She's not in the Trump cabinet.
Well, that's right. She is gone. That's right. She is
Yeah.
gone. Yeah, 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 yeah. She gone. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
That's
what
right.
she's doing now. And she's probably working for Trump's reelection campaign for 2024.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
She
uh,
got that. She got that Tinder profile out there.
she's been getting it on with the Cheeto.
ah, ah.
Anyway, but
That's a,
I just if this is the truth, like this is another huge shakeup for WWE, and
they're going in so many different ways. You can
so many different
you
ways.
can
Their
argue.
numbers are not great at all. Raw pulled. I heard Raw pulled like a 1.9 this week.
Mhm. I heard that too. I
A
heard that
one
too.
point. You realize when they were pulling a 3.8 is when Triple H gave the. You go on Twitter and say, "Oh, we can book a bit, man."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, and I said in the tweet I saw, when you don't respect your fans and you don't listen to them, eventually it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. And it is doing exactly that. And I know WWE is not hurting for money right now. We all know that. Like, we all know that WWE is not a wrestling company anymore. That is not really how they make their money.
Mhm.
Uh, but I fully believe by the end of this year, a McMahon will not own WWE, which I can't believe I'm saying that. I can't believe that it's going to happen. But there is just so many things going on. Vince's life is coming to shambles. Um,
He's being investigated,
all their shows are terrible now.
and
Like,
they're being investigated too by a law firm, Stanley and
yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah. They're being investigated. So yeah, it's coming down. It's coming down. He did. Bit differently, but he did predict it.
Well, okay, so now we talk about what I believe, and now I'm going to heavily say rumor alert, because I've been able to find no confirmation on this whatsoever. But I
It's
fully
being
believe that if this is true, this is
been reported.
sheerly to distract from Vince's from the news of Vince.
I don't think
But
it. I don't think it's a distraction, but I mean, because you can. This could be legit. I mean that it's not
it
like
could be.
Sasha hadn't. It's not like Sasha hadn't worn out her welcome before.
No, and I agree. And I'm not saying that it isn't legit, but what is a better way to kind of distract from what's going on over here than
True,
actually
true,
finally releasing Sasha
true.
over here and saying, "Oh yeah, this is going on, but look at this,
She's a 10-time champion,
10-time
ten
champion." And
time singles champ.
and I said this in our chat today, Will.
She's a 10-time
This
singles
could turn
champion.
the tide in the AEW WWE war. And I say it with air quotes because I don't fully believe there is a war. There's not a war. It's two different products. You either like both, you like one, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But um it I believe Sasha, Britt Baker, Chris Statlander, like they had the four pillars of the men's division, but I think that's one of the reasons that the women's division has struggled is there's not really been a pillars.
Mm-hmm.
There's been people that have tried. The only one that I would actually consider a pillar, a strong pillar of the women's division right now, the only pillar holding it up, and that's DMD, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's amazing. She's
Mm-hmm.
fucking amazing. Now I will say I think Thunder Rosa might be losing to Tony Storm at Forbidden Door.
I can see them
And
pushing. I can see them pushing Tony
well,
Storm just to say the
I
hell to
could see
WWE.
Tony would be the right person to put the belt on quickly out of the gate of the signing. Like she's as charismatic as Britt. And like they could have a hell of a feud.
I can
Hell
see them. I can see them putting a title on her just to say screw WWE.
yeah.
Just that alone.
And so I think that might be happening at Forbidden Door. Um, But if Sasha is being released, she serves her in DC her non compete, and then Tony Khan needs to be on the phone with her the moment Tony, if this is confirmed, you have better already talk to her. Like if you've been able to confirm it, even though we haven't, you better already talk to her because I'm telling you, Sasha Banks has the ability to go in there and give this women's division the little snap it needs because it has come a long way.
It
Britt has
has.
taken it a long way. We just two, I would say 1-2 years ago, we're talking just how garbage it was, and
Yep.
like it got a little stale during the pandemic era because you got like I love um shit. Now I can't think of her name. The women's champion from Japan.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Um, dang it. Hold on.
God damn it!
Try to look it up real quick if I can.
But anyway, you bring Sasha in, like I'm sorry, that Sasha is money, and I fully believe of the four horsewomen. Like and I know she doesn't have the greatest attitude. She doesn't always play well with others, and she's had her issues. But she's also gotten some bad booking in WWE. She's gotten some really bad booking in WWE,
Yep.
and I I think she helps the AEW women's division move to that next level. Truly.
Well, she have to go under Mercedes, but yeah, or another name, but yeah, she definitely could do it. And they do have when you add her there with Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, Athena. Um, yeah, she definitely gives
I
it a
mean, you're
fairly
getting
good.
a stat.
Serena D.
You're getting a the pieces are there. Their women's division is motherfucking stacked.
Yep.
Like like you said, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb, Chris, and like even their homegrowns, Chris Statlander, like the changeover she's taken away from the alien gimmick, more of a just an ass kicker. Motherfucker, those thighs, like
Yeah.
she could
Yeah.
suffocate me to death, and I would die a
Mm,
happy,
happy
happy, happy
camper.
person.
Happy camper. Yes.
Um, um, she is killing it. Ruby Soho, I think, is finally. I hope is about to really start making some kind of run because the losses are a little annoying for her. But the women's division, there's just so much fucking talent there.
Yeah.
And then like even the ones under Jamie Hayter, Jade Cargill, like even though I'm not a huge fan, she's still super talented, and she's definitely gonna be a face of the division for a long time to come.
And she's getting better.
She is getting better. I do like Stokely Hathaway with her. Like
Mm,
he's hilarious. Oh, Willow Nightingale made her AEW
awesome.
debut this week, and will be
Awesome.
fighting Jade Cargill for the TBS championship.
Awesome.
She's gonna get her ass kicked, but
Oh yeah.
um, uh, speaking of which, though, there was another thing I wanted to talk about a little bit, and that is I wanted to talk a little bit about Forbidden Door. Have you seen this card?
Some of it, not all.
So we all know we're finally getting after 3 years Tanahashi versus Mox.
There we go.
I mean,
Everybody's been looking forward to that.
dude, that's a dream match. The
It
Ace
is.
versus the Innovator of Violence.
Yep.
Like if you're a true wrestling fan, like a really,
You live for that
I'll
match.
say it, a hardcore wrestling fan,
You live for that match.
that match is what you wanted to see for years, and we're gonna get more. Um, you're gonna get. It looks like we're getting Lance Archer and his tag team partner from Japan with Sammy Guevara joined the Jericho Appreciation Society this
Hmm.
week. There was
Yeah.
actually a couple of shocks on AEW this week.
I saw
Sammy,
Jungle Boy get
yeah,
the trade.
Christian finally turned on Jungle Boy. Concertoed his ass. But I
Mm.
tell you what, there's no better Christian than a motherfucking heel Christian.
Yep. Yep.
Like, oh,
I
just
agree.
the look on his face the moment it happened, I was just like, oh, these youngins just don't know what they're about to get. They're about to get some of the best Christian you're ever gonna see. Like,
And Jungle Boy, and shout out to Jungle Boy. He sold the hell out of it too.
oh, sold the hell out of that. And I'm looking forward. I'm so excited for this because really, I feel like Jungle Boy has kind of reached his limit as the tag team wrestler with Lucha. I love Luchasaurus. I do. I do. And truly, I think he could have a good singles career as well.
Mm.
But it's time for Jungle Boy to start focusing on singles.
Yeah.
He needs to start looking at the TNT Championship. He needs to start looking at after the TNT Championship, the World Champion. He is
Right.
talented. He needs to get. He still needs some work on the mic, but he's also a baby. Um,
Yep. Still young.
but I'm so excited of what a feud for him with Christian could do for his career, his
Right.
character, all of it.
Right.
Like, oh,
Oh yeah.
there's no better heel to make a great baby face. I would say Christian is in the top of that list.
I
Like,
agree.
because God, guys, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch some of his heel work in TNA. It was, oh, mwah, chef's kiss.
It was
Am
good.
I wrong, Will?
No, you're
Am
not
I
wrong.
lying?
You're
Like,
not lying. You're not lying. It was good.
you talk about some of the best heels in the business,
He's
and
one
we
of
all
them.
have our list. Christian's heel has always been underrated.
I agree. Very good.
Uh,
Very good heel.
charismatic. Uh,
He plays it well. He plays it well.
but yeah, so you had Sammy Guevara turn, you had Christian turn, Sammy and Ty Conti both joined the JAS. I'm actually kind of excited for Forbidden Door. Um,
Mm.
like you're gonna get some great matches, and they still haven't announced who Jay Lethal is gonna fight. Um, for the IWGP Championship.
Yeah, they announced
Because
that yet? Wow.
here's another rumor I have heard is that while Punk is gone, AEW and IWGP are going to switch titles. I've
Wow.
heard that Tanahashi is actually going to win the match against not Mox, and I originally heard it was going to be Hangman versus. I was hearing Hangman versus Okada.
Mhm.
Like we haven't even gotten an Okada match yet. Are you telling me Okada's not going to be on this card?
He should
Like
be.
seriously?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that New Japan is leaving out one of the biggest stars they have, of one of the biggest pay per view opportunities in the United States they've ever had. I just don't believe it.
Well,
So I still think we're going to get an Okada match, or if not, he's definitely going to be making an appearance.
what are you thinking about that All Atlantic Championship belt they got?
I'm
What do you
liking
think?
it. Like, I get where people are like, they have too many belts, but do they really? Do they really? They've got their two main titles for each division, the
Mhm.
main title for each division, their
Mhm.
mid card title for each division, and then a tag team title. That's
Mhm.
about par for the course for a thing. Now, I get the point of the All Atlantic, and I do like that there's some rules to it. You have to actually be on the like from outside of a country, it sounds like, and I like the way they're doing. It sounds like what I'm seeing, it's going to be Malachi Black, uh, Pac,
Miro.
Miro, and then New Japan is having a little mini tournament to pick their person this week. And so if I pick anybody to win that, I think it's Malachi.
Might be
I
Pac.
think it's time for him to have a title.
Might be Pac.
I would love to see it on Pac.
That's what I'm.
I would love to see it on Pac, but Pac hasn't worked a lot. Like he's because of COVID and
Mm,
like I don't know. I would be happy with Pac or Malachi. I see it working more for Malachi right now because he's
mm,
building the House of Black and putting a title on him would be a good thing.
right.
Um,
Give the House of Black some legitimacy.
uh, oh, talk. We got to talk real quick about freaking another 5-star match candidate that happened this week. Now this was a dynamite match, which by the way, I was motherfucking right. That Cody Seth Rollins match 5 motherfucking stars.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but have you seen any clips of the Dax versus Will Ospreay match?
No, I
Oh
like
my
Will.
god, dude.
I like Will though.
Oh my god, dude. They put on a fucking clinic. Like when people ask me why I like wrestling, it's
That's why.
matches like that.
Right.
Those guys literally have barely said words to each other. Yeah, they've got a little feud going between their two factions and all, and it actually looks like FTR joined Orange Cassidy in Chaos last
Mm,
night. Um, so and but that announced Osprey versus Cassidy.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh my god, bro!
Yeah.
Talk about the
Yeah.
dream match I didn't know I ever wanted.
For the IWGP United States Championship.
I love it. I fucking love it. I think this is New Japan's best shot to finally break into the U.S. market. They have done some good work with New Japan Strong. It has really helped them out. But I think now they take that shot, and I think this pay per view is going to be pretty good. I really do. They've booked a good pay per view, and then you're going to get the Thunder Rosa versus
Tony Storm.
Tony Storm match, and that's why I think Tony might win that match.
He might. Like I said, just to screw it to WWE. Just to screw it to him. You know?
Any other news we've missed, Mr. Will?
I
I
don't
don't
think so.
believe so.
I don't believe so. I think we got all the main stuff done. Boy. Yeah, I think we got all the main. Let me make sure.
Oh, hey, I know this isn't. Who won the game?
Oh, last I checked, Golden State was up by went on a 21-0 run to take the lead. Let me double check real quick. Oh, messed that up.
If that's the case, Golden State, it's over.
Oh yeah, that thing over. Golden State winning right now, going at a minute and 3 seconds into the fourth. Golden State up 101 to 88. It's
God
done.
damn.
They went on a run. They went on a 21-0 run, and Boston never recovered from it. And it's really having you asking the question. Everybody put Jason Tatum in that quote unquote superstar status. Now you got to question it a little bit. He may have a seat reserved at the table, but he's not quite to the table as of yet. It's a
Uh,
minute. It's a minute left. This thing over.
well, looks like Seth Curry is what, a 3-time champion? 3-time?
4.
4? Is that 4
Mm-hmm.
rings
I
now?
think it's 4 for Steph. Mm-hmm. And if he gets, and I don't know if he get, and he may get it after tonight because he scored 32. If he wins Finals MVP, which is a good chance he will, you have to put him. He has a case for Mount Rushmore. He has a case. He's had Finals MVP, 2 times regular season MVP, a 4-time champion. I mean,
So I
he,
feel like we could talk about this a little bit because I know this is supposed to be the fight night edition of Report, but it's still Sports Report. So I want to say, all right, who's on your Mount Rushmore of basketball, Will?
oh,
I can give you 3 right off the top of my head. I can give you and that would be
Jordan.
Michael Jordan,
Mm,
Larry Bird,
mm.
and Hakeem Olajuwon. Now
To
that one last one is probably a little biased, but truly, if you look at the stats, you look at the records, you look at what he did in Houston in those two back-to-back championships, which is
mhm,
hard to do, really hard to do to win back-to-back championships.
mhm,
Um, he was probably one of the best big men to ever play the game,
mhm.
as far as rebounding and stuff like that.
Now
Um,
now I'm not a LeBron James fan per se. Everyone
my
knows that about me,
four would
but
probably be LeBron. Like
but
I, as much as I'm not a huge fan, I like the man, what he does outside of the game, a lot. But
but to
you
me,
can't talk about a Rushmore without talking LeBron. He was 18 when he went in the league. He's now
right,
been in the league for 20 years. He's broken a lot of records that people said would never be broken. Um, is he MJ? Fuck no.
but
Fuck no.
yeah,
And
but
Dan Dick Warner, if you're watching this, come for me.
but but to me, Jordan, Magic, Bird, and we differ on center. I got Shaq.
See, I believe I would go with Shaq too. And you do, man. The Lakers fans going to come for our throats that we didn't put Kobe in this.
I mean,
The problem is like
he's
it's
top
hard to
five.
narrow down to
He's
five.
top five. He's top
It,
five.
it's hard to narrow down to four. It's hard
I,
because
if you take Kobe, because okay, if you introduce everybody we just talked about, at best, because you can look at Jordan, LeBron, Magic, Bird, Shaq. You put Kobe at six, I don't think anybody would feel any type of disrespect
oh no,
because
that's like the all time team right there, like
yeah,
all time.
if you put
And
Kobe at
then
six, you'd
and
be
then
five.
you think about who's coming off the bench for that team. Then you think about who's coming off the bench for that team, and like
Right.
no one's ever scored more than 10 points.
I mean, I just think, yes, God rest his soul. I love Kobe too, but I just think that when you look at Shaq, and if you want to interchange them, that's fine. But when you look at
I
Shaq,
mean,
you go,
you run it exactly like Phil Jackson did. Like
mhm,
run that triangle, man. And
you
like
go.
the thing about the triangle is every player was interchangeable.
If you put Kobe at five, I wouldn't have an issue with it because Kobe did win without Shaq.
Hmm.
But Shaq also won without Kobe with D Wade. So, if you want to interchange drivers, that's fine with me. But my first four will stay the same with Jordan, Magic, Bird, and Shaquille O'Neal. Because when you look at Shaquille O'Neal, and he had that run, that magical run where he was the most dominant center in the game, that was something special. That was something special.
Can't hit a free throw to save his life, but
But hey, a lot of players couldn't hit a free throw to say they like look,
um,
but they won championships and the Hall of Fame. Look at Ben
so
Wallace. He couldn't hit a free throw for nothing, but
so
rebound, defense, Hall of Fame.
make cards an argument here, but I know me and Will kind of agree on our thoughts of Kareem. I don't believe Kareem works on that list because my thought is Kareem just I if it wasn't for Magic, Kareem would not be in that topic.
Well, the thing about it though, you have to go back before the Lakers. You have to go back and see what he did with the Milwaukee Bucks. You have to understand this man did not lose a game until he got until yeah, he didn't lose a game until he got to the NBA. Hakeem was fantastic. He was great. But it was just the time period he played. People such as yourself didn't get a chance to watch him. I got a chance to watch him as he was slowing down because I got to see him in Bucks going to the Lakers. And but yeah, make no mistake, Elijah Wan was a great player, but it was just his time that he played. Not a lot of people saw that because it was so long ago. But he was fantastic. He was great. He was fantastic, man. Um,
You mean
like I said,
Kareem? You're talking
yeah,
about Kareem, right?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, yeah.
Yeah, you said Elijah one. I was like,
And
wait
my
a
fault,
second,
my fault, my
wait
fault.
a second.
But he was great. But he was great, man. I love Hakeem. I love Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Great player, fantastic player. Like I say, it was just his time period that he played. Not a lot of people got to see him.
Oh, I mean, basketball was dying. Like, I mean, you go watch that movie, that show about Jerry Buss. Like, if it wasn't for Buss and Magic and Kareem, like, basketball would probably be dead.
People forget. People forget. The NBA Finals at one point was on tape delay, and it took players like Magic, Bird, and then when Jordan hit to really make basketball what it is, and then when David Stern brought the international flavor into it, that just blew it wide open. Blew it wide open.
Um,
Yeah, he's in my top 10 too for real. Kareem is because Kareem was awesome, man. Blocking
okay? Next question: Is
mm.
Larry Bird the greatest white boy to ever play basketball?
You know what? You can't his teammate was automatic too. When you look at Kevin McHale and everything Kevin McHale did, he was automatic too on that low block. I'll take it a little bit further back. Chris Muller was a great shooter. Um, I'll probably give it to Bird, but he's got some competition there because again, Kevin McHale was no joke at all. Because you get him on
Well, and
that low
then
block on
Mm.
either side, that's a guaranteed two.
I mean, this is international, but I would still consider is was Dirk as good as Larry?
No, no, because people forget before Larry got his back hurt and he got up in age, he was also playing defense on the other end. So, no, no, no. Mm-mm. Dirk wasn't the shooter Larry was. Uh, Dirk was definitely not the passer that Larry was. And
I
he's
recently
good, but no.
I recently heard a story about I forget who was the player that it was, but he ended up playing Larry, and he said, "Oh yeah, you that kid, you about to have a bad night." Larry went for like 35, 40 points that night,
Mm-hmm.
like 6 rebounds, like
Mm-hmm.
had one of his like games. And he was just like, yo, Larry was on another level. Like people just don't understand the level that Larry could get to.
He's the
And
second
that
record
was
wise,
one of my
stats
dad's
wise,
favorite players.
stats wise, um, one of the best. I think LeBron has eclipsed him in terms of overall numbers, but in terms of respect from the fans, people will always respect Larry Bird. Always, tremendous player, tremendous player. Love Larry back then.
Well, I think that about does it. I would bring up hockey because I know the Stanley Cup's about to start, but neither of us know shit about hockey.
Yeah,
Um,
but
and
it's a wrap though. But
our hockey analyst is not here tonight, so um, I
it's
think
a
that is
wrap
a
though.
wrap.
It's a wrap though. Golden State defeat Boston 103 to 90.
Uh,
I did not want to see Draymond Green win another
I
title,
just
but damn it, he won it.
I was honestly just rooting for Boston. Like I like Boston. Out of the two, I'd rather seen Boston take it. It's been longer for them since they've had a championship. Fuck
Yeah.
Golden State.
I just think when Boston had to come big, they couldn't do it. You're looking at Jason Tatum, 6 of 8, 6 of 18 from the field, 13 points.
Well, and
That's the that's the superstar showing up.
I think it was game. This was game 6, so I think it was game 5. I saw in game 5 like Steph went cold.
Yep.
Like Steph didn't do anything in game 5,
Yep. And
and they
Golden.
still were up by 20 points.
Yep. Golden State still won. Um, I think the thing that hurts Boston, and I've said this before on Sports Report, Marcus Smart is not a point guard. He's a tremendous defensive player. Don't get me wrong, tremendous defender. But he's not a point guard. He's a liability because everything that Boston does is ISO, 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 ISO. And if they don't get that ISO, there's no ball movement. There's nothing there for Golden State to really have to worry about in terms of defending the rim, the kick and shoot. Everything that Boston does is ISO. So I just think if they get them a true point guard, things would things could be different from Boston. But until that happens, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. But congrats to them for getting as far as they got. They got the luck of the draw. They got to hurt. They got to hurt. Doggone it, Brooklyn. They gotta hurt. I'm sorry, they gotta hurt Milwaukee Bucks. They gotta hurt Miami Heat, and they made it. But again, when your superstar comes up with 13 points, 6 from 18 for the field, 1 of 4 from three, it it kills you. It kills you.
There is one other thing I wanted to bring up, and uh, Steven's gonna be mad he's not here, but my Astros pulled off something that never been done yesterday. Never been done. Two, count them, 1, 2 immaculate innings, and same 3 players
That's
each
rare.
time.
That's rare. Really
Never
rare.
happened, bro.
Really
Never
rare.
happened.
Really rare.
Immaculate innings are rare enough as it is, but uh, go Stros. Um, and hey, if the fields aren't doing it, I'm doing it. I think I said this. Pujols is going on a motherfucking tear for his final season. Like the Cardinals are killing it right now, and honestly, this is the first time I've ever seen the St. Louis Cardinals be doing good and be happy about it.
37-28 right now.
Huh?
They're 37-28, leading the NL Central right now.
They're looking good. I mean, and the Angels have disintegrated, bro.
Yep.
Just and then I think Seven's gonna get his wish here pretty soon. I think Tony La Russa is about to lose his job.
He already. Oh yeah, I thought he already did.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's been announced.
I thought they already got fired.
I don't think so. I
I'll look
may
it
be
up
wrong.
again. I'll look it
I'm
up
not
again.
the baseball guy.
Well, Boston right now, they're kind of righting the ship a little bit. They're 34-30, but I thought La Russa already got
Oh, Tony
fired.
La Russa's the White Sox.
I know, but I'm just saying, his team is up 34-30 in the standings. They're 73 over their last 10, so he'll be happy about that. But yeah, I thought Tony La Russa already lost his job.
I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. It wouldn't be the first time. But all right, guys. Y'all have another wonderful night. We will be back next week with Sports Report Fight Night, talking all the news in the fighting world. We love y'all. Y'all have a great night, and we will see y'all next week.
Later, guys. Peace.